Last year, right before summertime, our president, Nilofer Sheikh, came up to me and brought up the idea of creating a FIRST robotics team at our school because she was on a team at High Tech High and she had a really great experience with it and wanted to share it with our school. So her and I are the co-founders for the club, and we started the robotics club in September 2013. And from there, we recruited some other officers, Jacob, Prita, Sarah Barhane, and Austin Doan. And it just kind of took off from there.
We had learned that it cost $6,000 for our first regional event. That number was terrifying, daunting, and made us think that we weren't going to be able to start a team in time. So we decided that we would do everything we could to raise as much as we could so that we might be able to start a team the following January. So immediately, we asked team members to raise funds individually. We asked for each team member to raise $50 on their own through whatever means they thought would work best. We were given the first rookie grant, and that was enough to get us to registration for the first regional event. After that, we were fortunate enough to receive funding from companies like Nordson, Qualcomm, Tyco Electronics, Harbor Freight, SKF, Custom Ink, and Booster, who did our t-shirts, as well as all of the companies that contributed to the first rookie grant. So about $15,000 was raised in our first year, which we're extremely proud of. We hope to raise even more next year in order to build a more competitive robot, have more resources for team members, and ultimately grow.
When we started out, we had no idea what we were doing. We had a box full of parts and some tools. And we went to a school with a bunch of other rookie teams and a couple of second-year teams with those kits and those tools. And after a couple of hours, we built the drive base for Varsum Utgan Busador, our robot. It's amazing what you can do in a couple of hours.
One of the main problems with our robot was coming up with the proper design that we were going to use. At first, we thought we would do something like taking a large amount of surgical tubing and wrapping it around kind of a square so that we could pull it back and launch it whenever we wanted to. Just help in picking things up and stuff and such. Afterwards, we thought of drawing like a net design, so having a robot which could contain the ball just by catching it, so thrown over the truss and such. But eventually we decided that being defensive would be best, just because it would be useful for everyone no matter what their strategy is. So this is the CAD design of our robot, the virtual version. As you can see, we have three overall arms. We have this top arm for guarding the high goal. We have this medium arm for blocking the top of the low goal, and then this final arm for the low goal. Our robot is basically designed as just a big box, a very tall box, so it can, aside from blocking the individual goals, it can also prevent other teams from moving as well.
I'm a programmer from Team 5137, and I programmed our robot to be controlled with one joystick with buttons to control the arms. And then during autonomous mode, where the robot is controlled by pre-programmed code, I programmed it so that we would be able to select the distance and direction beforehand.
Alright, so one of the main features of our robot was the high arm that extends up 100 inches to block the high goals. We ran into a few issues while making this, like for example, the if it is continuously moving up, the motor will get damaged. So we had to add these limit switches here. They're triggered when either the arm is moved all the way up or all the way down. So these are the arms that we designed to block the side goals. Either one extends out to the side of the robot. We also had to set up limit switches on these ones, similar to the high goal.
I'd like to mention a very important sponsor that was gracious enough to clad our entire robot with this beautiful diamond plate metal. Mr. Dave Whipple. He owns a sheet metal company in El Cajon, California, and he was gracious enough to donate all of this material as well as the labor to form it around our robot. I think the most important part of our robot is not anything functional, but more aesthetic. It's this. It is a water-jetted 5137. Mr. Whipple's machine cut through this diamond-plated aluminum like butter in about 2.5 minutes. It was really spectacular, and our robot looks much better with this material.
All of our competitors were extremely gracious, very professional, and we had really fun competing. We ended up 27th, so that was pretty good. And when it came to the final selection, where the final teams got to be chosen to compete in the finals, we didn't get chosen. We were a little bummed at that, but there were still awards, so we were hopeful, and we got to the Rookie All-Star Award. We didn't really expect to win it. We were hopeful, but we did end up winning it, and we were just so excited. And we all ran down to the stage, and it was awesome. It was one of the best experiences, one that I'll remember forever.
We had a great time in St. Louis. It was an amazing experience. We learned a lot from other teams who helped us out with the business and technical side. Our robot did encounter a few technical problems, but we were able to sort through that, and we did pretty well in the matches. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to the finals, but it was a great learning experience, and we have learned a lot that's going to help us for next year.
So since we've been a successful rookie team, we got through, we actually built a robot that works. Next year we hope on expanding, so hopefully dabbling into a junior LEGO League maybe with the younger kids, so that by the time they do get to FRC, they'll be prepared and excited and motivated. And also we really hope on expanding our business side of our robotics team. We realized this year that business is really, really important to robotics, so aside based on just fundraising and helping out the team and publicizing us.
I learned the importance of teamwork, because if our entire team hadn't put in effort, we wouldn't have been able to accomplish very much at all.
I learned the essentials of running a small business and working with many people of different skills to produce a product.
I learned that hard work and dedication will pay off, and you need teamwork and communication to accomplish your goals if you want to build something as awesome as a robot.
Being on a robotics team this year, I learned a whole lot. There's obviously, going into this originally, I thought, oh, there would be parents who would kind of tell me what to do, and I really understand what I was doing, but the parents came in and it was new for them too, so I learned that it was a learning process for everyone, and also that there's a managerial side and a business side to robotics, and there's also a technical side, and that without all of those pieces working in tandem, we wouldn't be able to have a successful team, and that's really, really important.
I learned the importance of STEM fields, and because of this, I started the STEM Society of Mission Hills.
I learned how to work under an approaching deadline and to make valuable use of time.
I learned the technical side of things, what certain tools are called. I didn't know what an Allen wrench was before robotics. And I learned how to make the robot work.